It's here. It's finally here. Welcome to the Get Out of Her Damn Way Summit, hosted by Tracy Lee Living. I'm your MC, Jen Yaduzzi, and I'm just so damn excited to be here in all of this sisterhood, power, and brilliance. These 3 days promise to be packed with insight, wisdom, truth, and connection. And my job is to help you navigate through it all with some helpful directions, a few bad jokes, a whole lot of love and gratitude for all of you, and all of the Genergy. So who am I anyway? And why did Tracy ask me to hop in and hop on to fill this role? Unlike most of our speakers, I'm not a coach, but like all of our speakers, I'm a fierce champion of women. I'm a wife, mom to a teenage boy, stepmom, dog mom, daughter, insert all the roles. Professionally, I'm a marketing strategist, copywriter, and small business owner. I work full-time for an incredible company that creates software that helps companies do more good in the world. And I run my own marketing consulting business that helps businesses tell the stories their customers need to hear. Like so many of you, I'm doing all the things. I met Tracy Lee when her husband Herb was up on our doorstep like 7 years ago to ask for a cup of sugar. We've since spent hours chatting over rosé, cottaging with our families, and just being each other's cheerleaders. And I can't even begin to tell you how damn proud I am of my friend and mentor. To have witnessed her transformation over the past several years, well, it's nothing short of awe-inspiring. So when she told me a couple of short months ago that she had a vision to bring hundreds of women together in community to share, learn, and grow, well, I just shook my head. Because, well, if you know Tracy, you just know that she was going to make this happen. Before I introduce our agenda over the next 3 days, go over some housekeeping, and introduce our host properly, I'd love to know a few things about you. So use the chat. Let us know where you're from. Where are you turning in from? What city, province, country? I'd love to hear. Let's do it. Okay, well, I'm tuning in from Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. That's where I'm from. Anyone else? Let's see. Looking through the comments. Kelowna. We got Kelowna. Oh my gosh, that's far. This is so early for you. God love ya. Saratoga Springs, New York. Portland, Oregon. St. Catharines, Ontario. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is amazing. Pickering, Ontario in the house. Woo woo. Toronto. Northern VA, USA. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is incredible. So welcome everyone from like all over the world, all over North America, wherever it is you're tuning in from. This is incredible. So next question, I'd really love to know, in one word or as few words as possible, what are you hoping to gain from this summit? Drop your answers in the comments. Let's see here. It takes a while for it to come through. Hang on here. Oh, amazing, you guys. Just amazing. Connection, clarity, just amazing. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is so incredible. So let's go over a little bit of housekeeping. We're broadcasting live from the Get Out of Her Damn Way Facebook group. And today we have 6 incredible speakers taking the virtual stage. Feel free to post some love and takeaways in the comments, but hold those questions. Because after every session, each speaker will host a 15-minute breakout Q&A. And as each session comes to an end, a Zoom link will be posted in the Facebook group for the Q&A. So this is your opportunity to ask all those burning questions. So be sure to hop over to Zoom. Now, once the breakout Q&A is done, just head back over here to the Facebook group where we'll welcome our next speaker. So hot tip, just keep your Facebook group open all day. And this way you're not gonna, you won't have that issue going back and forth. Are we fired up? Are you ready for the magic? Introducing our resident magician, host of Get Out of Her Damn Way and founder of the Get Out of Her Damn Way movement, Tracy Lee. With over 20 years as a women's fitness mentor and coach, Tracy stepped into her true purpose a few short years ago. She did the hard inner work, hired coaches to guide her along her journey, and invested deeply in herself. Today, as a women empowerment coach and motivational speaker, she helps women overcome their fears and get out of their own damn way to take massive action towards their dreams. Tracy guides her clients to get clear on who they are, discover what they want, and break down the walls that keep holding them back. These women are now discovering their own purpose, running successful businesses, and stepping into their light and power. Tracy brings authenticity, passion, and her unique method and approach to her one-on-one and group coaching clients. Never one to settle and always one to make a difference. She's launching even more ways to connect and support women, like right now. Tracy says that until you fully believe in your infinite potential, you can borrow her belief anytime you need it. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend and your host, the incredible Tracy Lee. Tracy, are you on mute? Are you on mute? You might be on mute.
Yay! Yay!
So someone being on mute, right?
My heart is exploding right now. Like literally, I'm trying to contain my emotions because there's been so much anticipation. This is like a wedding day, Jen. You and I are walking down the aisle.
Here comes the bride.
Oh my God. I've already been there, done that. I'm good. But I just want to first say I am so grateful for this moment, for everything leading up to this moment, for having you here with me, Jen. You know, when I asked you to do this with me, it's because I saw something in you that I wanted to pull out of you.
Are we supposed to cry this early?
And I remember when we were on our little kayak last summer, and you were telling me that you were going to be emceeing a massive event for your company with over 800 people. And you would share with me, like, why is this happening? And like, can I do this? And I've always known, Jen, with you, you have an innate ability to celebrate other people. It's part of who you are. Your heart is in it. You don't miss a birthday. You don't miss something big that's going on in someone's life. And you have an incredible energy and a huge heart. And when you combine that, people are drawn to you. And I saw you with gifts that you haven't seen in yourself. And I knew you being a part of this summit was going to help pull out some of those gifts. So I am honored that you are our MC. You are such a beautiful light in my life. Friends forever, right? And to all my incredible speakers, oh my gosh, we've been on a journey for 4 months. This has been amazing, amazing, amazing. And I am just, I don't know what to say. I actually have a lot of things to say today. What I am going to say is, first of all of you women tuning in right now, tuning in over the next 3 days, you're friggin' incredible. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Because we do that, right? We let all this noise in. We let the noise in from our past, we let the noise in from our coworkers, from our families, from friends that don't get us. You don't need anybody to get you. You just need you to get you.
Oh, I'm feeling so coached right now and so loved. I'm sure everyone is feeling this right now, not just me. It's just what a great start to the day, Tracy.
And you know, the things we're going to share this over the next 3 days, they're going to be so powerful. These women that are showing up for you, they've all had to get out of their damn way in so many ways. And what this summit did was it lit a fire. It lit a fire that was, it ignited the little tiny flame that was in them to go bigger. And they have stepped up, they have shown up, they have moved through obstacles, and they've become more awake to what it is that they are here to do than ever before. And they are showing up vulnerably, authentically. They're showing up powerfully for you all for the next 3 days. And my commitment to you is I will give you all of me for the next 3 days. Because this has been a dream I've had. This is only the beginning. Sitting here in my office thinking that this was just this little idea that I had back in May. And this idea has grown into reality. I didn't know how to do a summit. I've never been to a summit. I've never participated in a summit. I've never spoken at a summit. But here's what I share with you, ladies. I had my own summit. This is what we're doing. And you know why? I didn't want to just wait to take a seat at the table. I created my own damn freaking table.
Yeah, you did.
And these amazing women have sat down and joined me. And we can create our own table any day of the week. We don't have to wait for opportunities to come to us. We create the opportunities. I'm exactly like you. I started at ground zero in my business. I reset my life after crazy stuff happened, losing everything financially, not wanting to be here, not in the right path, abusing myself in many ways, crawling from under a rock because deep down I knew that there was more for me in my life. And I am so honored to have you with me, Jen. I am so honored to be here with all of you powerful women. I'm so honored to get to know you. I want you to know in the chat, like share whatever's coming up for you right now. How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling? Why are you here? What do you want out of this day? What do you want out of these next 3 days? What kind of shift do you want to make in your life? Do you want to matter more than you ever did before? Do you want to start to realize that you're worthy? Like you're really worthy. This is going to be amazing.
Tracy, you're taking us to church already.
My body is vibrating. My heart is huge. I just feel I'm in the right place, and I hope that you guys do too. And Jen, I'm honored that you are my wing girl for the next 3 days.
That'd be fabulous.
And know that we're going to be dropping more information. We've got an amazing schedule. Every hour on the hour, you're going to get to meet speakers. Right after the speakers, after our interview together, you are going to step into a breakout session with each speaker. She's going to take care of you in your own beautiful container. You've got questions, burning things you want to ask. You get to do that in that breakout session. Don't miss a beat. We've got so many cool things going on. What are you showing me there, Jen?
I'm showing you that I'm going to be taking that page. That book is going to be filled with notes this week, Tracy.
Oh, your journal. Yes. There's a beautiful journal, ladies, that's been created with so many heartfelt things in it, things that are going to help you spend time with yourself, grow and learn through the next 3 days. Grab your journal. You were sent an email with all the links in there. We're going to be dropping the links as well. If you haven't upgraded, you want to upgrade, you've been emailed the upgrade link as well. Your upgrade link gives you so many amazing things. You get all of the replays, lifetime access. And here's what I know. We learn by repetition. I need to hear things over and over and over again before they sink in. I've been studying the same things for years. And now I'm starting to get it. And now my life's starting to get better. We've got gifts from the amazing speakers, beautiful gifts for you, and so much more. So make sure you upgrade. And here's the biggest part about the upgrade.
This is huge. This is huge.
80% of what we earn through those upgrades, all the funds received, is going to an incredible cause. A cause where people don't feel they have a choice right now. They don't even have their voice to use right now. They're living in the deepest fear we can't even imagine. And I'm talking about human trafficking. And Free Them is an incredible organization that's been around now for celebrating their 14th year. And we're so blessed to have our incredible keynote. She's been in the trenches in this space for 20 years. So that is the biggest reason to upgrade, to give back. Because what I know, and Tony Robbins says it all the time, living is giving. Living is giving.
Amen.
You want to step out of a vibration, you're having a bad day, go and do something nice for somebody else. You will be blown away at what happens next in your life. I am so honored to be here. I can't wait to share some of my stories with you before we jump on with our first incredible speaker. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be beautiful. Jen, I appreciate you. I know you've got me this whole time, and I've got you.
Love you, girl.
Love you, Jen. Yay. And you'll see more of Jen and Tracy because we're going to be around a lot.
Sure.
We got some cool stories we'll tell you
We're
too.
gonna do our thing. So
We'll do our thing.
Awesome.
We're going to do our thing.
Now.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Woo!
Bye, Trace.
I'm so pumped. Bye, Jen. Amazing. Okay. I have a question for you, ladies. Who here believes that they're in their own damn way? Drop me a comment. Yes, man. I know I am. I know I'm in my own way. Who thinks that their life could get better if they got out of their own way? Right? God knows I didn't even know I was in my own way. I had to become aware that I was in my own freaking way. And once I started to realize that, I had some serious choices to make. But here's the thing. If we are in our own way, and we do know that, then how did we get here? How did we get in our own way? We're intelligent people. We're intelligent women. Do you ever ask yourself powerful questions like that? How did I get here? How can we ever expect to change the fact that we're in our own way unless we start to understand why? And today, we're going to get to the root of this. Today, tomorrow, Friday, we're going to get to the root of this stuff. You're going to leave with so many notes, so many awakenings, so many golden nuggets. We're going to get to the root of it so we can make a lifelong shift. Not just having a good month and a few things change. I want to help you imprint something new into your subconscious mind, into your heart. I want you to connect your mind, connect your heart. I want to help bring you a deeper connection with yourself. Clarity, connection. Why am I really here? Why do you think you're here? Why do we think we're here? When I think about how I used to think we were here, it was, well, I got to work hard, right? I just got to keep working hard, got to take care of my family, make enough money to pay my bills, maybe have some leftovers so I can do something more for my family, go on a vacation maybe buy that thing for my house. Is that why we're here? To put our kids through school? Is that why we're here? So maybe they can do better than we did? Are we here to just keep doing the right thing, collect our pension, and then retire? Or did we come here in this lifetime to do something great? To be something great? To create something great? How good does that feel? Do you want to create something great in your life? Tell me if you can relate to this. I used to live my life by a daily checklist. It was go, 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 go. I celebrated the fact that, I could multitask like nobody else could. At least I thought in my head. I could run circles around people. I celebrated that shit. You know what? I was in a fight to control my life every single day. If I can get that done, then I'll have time for that. And then when that happens, then she'll be good and I can drop her off. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to do that. And then. Fill the space, fill the space, fill the space. And that mindset came from my past as a young girl trying to survive. I was on my own at 17. I was orphaned at 17. I had to figure out life. I had a little sister. We all have our crazy stories. We all have trauma. My trauma started at 6. And this is why I was in this spiral of always thinking I had to just be in control. It was exhausting. So what I want to do today in this beautiful time I have with you this morning, I want to share with you a story of how I got out of my own damn way, what I learned, and how it can help you do the same. So when I was writing down last night, what story am I going to use? There's so many. Leaving the corporate world to become an entrepreneur. Leaving a very toxic relationship after 18 years. leaving a business that I liked for a business that I loved. When I looked at all these stories, I noticed something. I noticed that it was all about leaving something for something better. I noticed that there were all sacrifices I had to make. There was risk I had to take. And you know what? They all represented the same reason why I had stayed. The stupid F word. Fear. Fear kept me there. Fear kept me playing small. Fear kept me not seeing who I am, not even believing in myself. My real get out of her damn way story isn't about what I did, ladies. This is about what I changed. Oprah Winfrey says, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change her future by merely changing her attitude. It was time for me to make a trade. I had to trade something big because I wanted quantum leaps. I wanted a big change. I had to change and trade in fear for faith, control for surrender, believing things about myself to believing in myself. I had to look at life through a completely different set of lenses. I look at everything through a different set of lenses, and I mean everything. The catalyst to me accepting this new perspective, this new way of looking at my current circumstances, the lack of what was in my bank account, the lack of opportunities that I didn't see, the catalyst to all that, to acknowledging the biggest opportunity, was shifting my attitude. There's a man named Earl Nightingale, you may know him, and he says, if we take the attitude we cannot do something, we generally will not do it. What we accomplish or fail to accomplish is due to our attitude. We have to alter our attitude so we can alter our life. And you think, what is attitude, Tracy? Your attitude actually controls your bank account. Your attitude controls how you make decisions. Your attitude controls the standards that you set for yourself. Your attitude controls your discipline. It controls everything going on the inside. And what's going on the inside, you just have to look around, because that's a direct reflection on the outside. And I know we know this. Maybe you don't know it. I didn't know it. But when I started to realize it, I said, well, I need to know more. I need to understand this. I need to understand what this is all about, altering my attitude, altering my life. And when I started to do this work, it really required me to make some massive sacrifices. Sacrifices I had never made in my life before. Once I was aware of how attitude was impacting my life in a very negative way and understood the impact, I was left with a big decision. To stay where I was, to stay comfortable, to not rock the boat, to keep everybody else happy, or to take care of me for the first time ever. Taking care of ourselves as women is really hard for us to do. We don't think we can walk through that door without everybody with us. That door of opportunity, that door where the unknown lives, the door where this summit lived for me. I had to set major boundaries with myself and my family to make all of this happen. I had to stretch myself beyond limitations. And when you do this, you experience an incredible transformation. Through this process, when I began to change my attitude, I started to replace one habit at a time, one limiting belief at a time, one familiar story at a time. I had to change what I had always accepted for something else. I had to unlearn all this stuff. And I'm still in the process. Listen, I'm in the trenches. I'm in the fire with all of you. Every time you want to take yourself to another level, all this stuff comes flooding back in your life. But it does get easier because every time you experience it, you have evidence that you were able to do it. That you stepped into the fire and you didn't get burned. And if you did a little bit, you came out on the other side. When I was releasing these habits, limiting beliefs, familiar stories, changing what I accepted for myself, I raised my standards. I raised my desire. We think that we don't get what we want because, the opportunities aren't there. I didn't get the breaks. It's not about that. You have a weak desire. I had a weak desire for all the things I wanted in my life. We can want all day long. I wanted, but nothing came to fruition. My desire was weak. I had to raise my desire. I had to raise my discipline in the right areas. Where was I focusing my energy on that wasn't serving me anymore? I had to raise my faith. I wrote down something today about faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, but we must believe in. I began to play in a different playground. It's fun over here. I demanded and commanded something of myself in a way I had never done before. And what did this all do for me? It brought clarity. Clarity. Can you imagine having more clarity in your life? What would that be like? What if you really woke up and you knew exactly who you are, what you wanted to do, and the obstacles, you could see them, you could have an edge on yourself? What would that do for you? This brought me a deeper connection with myself, a deeper connection. Why am I here? So when I think about my vision, I cry. I feel it in my body. I feel it physically. I feel my heart get bigger. I acquired confidence that I never had before. Confidence to do this. Women that knew me 3 years ago, I wasn't this person. I began creating something that was built from love. Fear will still come up. It comes up all the time. I've started to understand now why it's there, what it is, and how to render it useless. Because fear only happens when we leave the present moment. Think about it logically. The minute you set fear in your mind, you're thinking about something that could happen, or you're going back to the past. Well, it happened that way, so chances are it'll happen again. Or maybe you didn't have the support you needed, so why would you have it now? Maybe you didn't have the skills then. And maybe you did, but they didn't work out. That didn't work out for me, Tracy. I don't understand how it's going to work this time. We leave the present moment, we step into fear. Fear is ignorance. Ignorance is at the root of fear. And basically what I mean by that is you're scared. You're scared of what you don't know. You're scared of what you don't know. So it comes down to deciding, do I want to be scared of what I don't know? Or do I want to stay safe with what I do know? Fear, do it anyways. Do it anyways. That's how you experience something. You fail, it's okay. We only grow through our failures. We don't even grow through our successes. It's the failures that teach us. And the more we know, the more experience we have, the better we are. When I think about fear, and I think about being scared, doing it anyways, requires surrender. It requires surrender of the how. So many things in my life, starting a business, leaving the corporate world, leaving a community that I've been around for 20 years that defined who I was. How could I step into something new? I had to surrender to the how, and the how represents a place that sits right in the middle of where you are and where you want to go. And right in this place is where control comes in. Here's where control and what we believe about ourselves comes in. We need to control it, and we take in all the things we believe about ourselves. We fill that space. We fill it with what we know. What we know. Not what we don't know. We pull from that pool of the past our personal inventory of fears and what we have seen or heard from others. That's what we fill that space with. So if that's what we're filling it with, how are we ever going to get there? We lose all our power. The power is always in the present moment. That is where all the power is. The present moment is what creates your future. You want to recreate your present moment. Recreate it right now. Think about what do I want my present moment to look like? Write your present moment story over the next 3 days. What do I want my present moment to be like? How does that feel? Who's the woman that's actually living that? This is not easy work. This is the work I've been doing, and this is why I was able to completely change my whole life in 12 months. I was starting at ground zero. And every part, financially, relationships, my business, opportunities, powerful partnerships, my family life, my health, all shifted drastically in 12 months because of what I'm sharing with you. If the present moment creates your future, what you fill that space with really matters. That space in the middle of where you are and where you want to go. You want to fill it with something more. To do this, you've got to make a shift. You've got to trade in fear, control, lies that you believe about yourself. You've got to trade that in for faith, for surrender to what is possible, belief in yourself. If I had not made this trade, this summit wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't be existing right now. If I didn't have the willingness to stretch myself, to stretch my belief for something greater than I'd ever experienced before, I would have stayed playing small. If I'd accepted all the excuses of money and what I had to invest with this summit, the time it's going to take, the lack of my experience, no one wants to come, the speakers aren't going to come. If I'd have believed all that, none of this would have happened. This was all unknown territory for me. Start looking beyond your circumstances. Raise your standards. Accept something different. We are in control of what we accept in our lives. If you've got things going on in your life that you don't feel good about, stop accepting that is okay. Start using faith to move you towards making powerful decisions. Fear is not where you want to birth your dreams from. Your vision deserves you to be at the driver's seat of that vision, not other people's expectations of you. I spent most of my adult life living up to other people's expectations. I didn't take a chance on myself. I doubted. I listened to the people that were the naysayers of the world. I listened to all of them. And I know we've heard stories like this. This isn't a new story that you're hearing right now. I know we have. But what are you doing about your story? What are you doing about your story? You know, Mel Robbins always says, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to tell you to get up, to go work out. No one's going to tell you to make that phone call to that person that could offer you something so incredible, a major shift in your life. No one's going to tell you to leave something that isn't serving you anymore. You have to be the one that's in the driver's seat, making those decisions. And those decisions are risky. Those decisions are scary. Those decisions can have consequences. Those decisions can require boundaries to be set. Those decisions could maybe even affect another human being. But that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to rise up for yourself. Because when you rise up and you start to tap into who you really are, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody wins. Everybody. And the people that don't want to hang around, they're not meant to be there. When your energy's in the right place, you attract exactly what you are. You are a magnet. Who wants to have magnetic confidence? Who wants to feel that nothing keeps them back anymore? They actually lean into the stuff that they don't know anymore because they know that's where the joy of living exists. Raise your standards. Accept new things that you deserve. Use faith to move you forward to make powerful decisions. Gain understanding of how the universal laws work, ladies. I talk about this in my training. The universal laws are what gave me elevated faith. We don't even understand how the universe works. We just hear these laws of attraction. You want to get rooted in understanding this, because this is going to give you that little extra boost you need to say, yes, I am going to do this. On the outside world right now, it doesn't make sense. And guess what? It should never make sense on the outside world when you make a quantum leap decision, because that quantum leap decision is getting you out of that circumstance. Nothing should ever line up for you from what you can see to make those big decisions. It should be completely making no sense. The only sense is in your heart. That's why we want to get connected to our heart and our head together. Commit to taking action and keep saying yes. Move away from the things that you believed about yourself that keep pulling you back into the past. The past is over. It's over. You can't change it. It's not serving you anymore in any way. So why would we allow our past to destroy our future? Why would we do that? Because we're in the habit of doing it. You want to change your habit. You want to change your attitude. All these things, one at a time. Believe in yourself. That is the hardest work you're ever going to do, because you are unlearning. You are going against the familiar. You are pushing against the stubbornness of the version of you that is doing everything to keep you safe. You're meant to soar. You're meant to soar. The first step can feel really impossible right now. And that first step might be you just deciding to make a change. Maybe you're very successful in your life right now in your business. How good are you willing to get? That's my question for you right now. Write that down. How good am I willing to get? I want you to have an answer to that question by the end of these 3 days. You're going to fail lots of times. You're going to grow. You're going to get better and better and better. Don't settle for never knowing. Don't settle for always wondering. Don't settle for limiting yourself to just thinking of what you could have been. You are better than that. And deep down, you know this. That's why you're here right now. It's why you came to this summit. That's why you're watching this on the replay, live. It doesn't matter. How good are you willing to get? That's the question I have for you. I believe in you. You are powerful. You are loved. You are appreciated. You have everything you need inside of you. You are resourceful. You can find a way to do anything. Glennon Doyle says everything is figure-outable. It freaking is, ladies. Who is a hell yeah right now for getting out of her damn way? Who is a hell yeah? Woo! We have an amazing 3 days planned for you. We've got an incredible speaker coming up. Her name is Shay Invidiata. Shay, oh my gosh, this woman, she is the CEO of her life in a way that has inspired me. And when I asked her to be this keynote speaker at this summit, it was from an energetic connection that we had many years ago when she became my client in a wellness business. And we instantly knew that we would be friends for a very long time. We would do something great together. And Shay is a woman who is a CEO of her life. And I'm going to introduce her just before she comes on. But I want you to know you're in for a real treat. You do not want to miss this. So stay tuned, stay connected, stay watching this channel all day long. I believe in you. You are powerful. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are ready. Now, let's go, ladies. Go and take a break. Grab your coffees. I'm going to see you so soon. Introducing Shay. And watch for a really fun video about Shay before she comes on. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Okay, we got another rapid fire with Shay in the house. Woo woo!
Guys.
So excited. Okay, 25 questions, rapid answers. If you can't answer, you go pass. Your goal is to not pass once. So you want to try and get every single one. And we're going to name 25 questions. We're going to roll. I'm going to count you down in 5 seconds, and we're going to start. Cool?
Okay, and if I get all 25, what do I get?
Well, it's a contest, right? Right now it's a contest. So people have been
what am I winning?
People have been, well, you'll find that out later. People are doing really well. So you might have to have a tiebreaker. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm going to count us down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is your bed made right now?
100%.
If you could afford any car, which one would you drive?
F1 McLaren.
Have you ever written a song for someone?
No.
What is the last craft you made?
I did pottery with my 3-year-old niece.
What is one thing you regret spending money on?
Books I don't end up reading.
What movie do you enjoy quoting the most?
What movie do I enjoy quoting the most? Probably My Cousin Vinny.
If you could be transformed into one animal, which one would you choose?
A lion.
Who is your hero?
My father.
Where did you go on your last vacation?
Well, technically Portugal, but I was last in Colorado.
What is your go-to pastime?
Go-to pastime? What do you mean by that?
Just when you have free time, what's your go-to for a pastime? What do you do?
Oh, to relax? Definitely travel, anything by the water.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Art.
Where did you grow up?
Oakville, Ontario.
Where do you live now?
That's complicated. Costa Rica, Toronto, although I'm in Oakville right now.
What is your favorite body part?
Body part. Wow. It's bad if it takes a moment for you to think about this. I love my hair, but that's not a body part.
That's fine. What is your favorite word in another language?
I don't even know if it's real, but it's papagula, which is actually Greek, although I make it sound Italian.
What is your favorite dessert?
Definitely cheese and red wine.
What is your favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast? I usually fast, but I do love avocado toast with eggs.
If you had to change your first name, what would it be?
When I was younger, it was Joey from Full House because I hated my first name, but now I would never change it. It is totally uniquely me, and I love it.
Okay. Street smarts or book smarts?
Streets.
Learn by watching or learn by doing?
Watching others' mistakes and then doing it better myself.
Fresh food or fried food?
Always fresh.
Are you more cautious or bold?
Bold. If you can't tell.
Cannonball into the pool or dip a toe in first?
Cannonball.
Would you rather sleep in late or take a long nap midday?
Oh, fuck naps. No way.
Last one. What makes you hopeful?
Humanity.
Woo! Rapid fire complete. Amazing, Shay. Awesome. I love you.
I love you too. Thanks, Tracy.
Cool.
Barely breathing, don't let go. Hear the whispers, listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees and broken bones, a revolution. Burn your bridges, make your choice. Fight your demons, raise your voice. They're only silent if we're making noise. So let the battle begin. Bended knees and broken bones. A bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike, come the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Barely breathing, don't let go. Hear the whispers, listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees and broken bones. A bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Burn your bridges, make your choice. Fight your demons, raise your voice. They're only silent if we're making noise. So let the battle begin. Bended knees and broken bones. A bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion. Be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution.
Okay, we're back. Woohoo! I hope everybody took a little moment to grab a coffee, maybe go to the bathroom, get your paper ready, your pen. If you haven't downloaded the journal, you've got to get the journal. It's so amazing. So you can take loads of notes. Just embrace the next 3 days so beautifully because you deserve it. You matter. And this is you putting yourself first. Now, with no further ado, I am so excited to introduce you to an incredible soul, Shay Invidiata. Shay and I met 4 years ago. And like I mentioned earlier, the minute we spoke on the phone, we knew there was a spark. There was something going on and we didn't know where it was going to take us, but we were prepared to figure it out. And we've stayed very closely connected, even though she has moved across, the country and to other places in the world. We've stayed connected because we knew we were meant to. And I want to know, Shay, she's really special. She is a very unique soul. Talk about moving through her life with faith as the compass. This is Shay. She's an impact entrepreneur. Incredible. Purpose-driven. She's a luxury realtor. She's a TEDx speaker. She's an award-winning human rights activist. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. A wellness advocate. And she's an explanter. And Shay will mention a little bit about that as well. These are some of the titles that Shay wears. And she wears them because she's earned them. She's worked really hard to get where she is. She's based in Costa Rica, Canada, and she believes that we can make money with a purpose to create positive change in life. She's dedicated to building a legacy of significance, impacting the lives of millions. Just love her. She's been in business with her family for over 13 years in the real estate world, and she's extremely successful, massive #1 real estate team in Canada for 13 times and worldwide in 2007 and 2012. Those are huge accomplishments. And she's been at the leading edge of all of those things. So beautiful, so amazing. Shay founded, and I mentioned this earlier, if you haven't upgraded, you want to upgrade because the proceeds are going to a very incredible cause. And Shay's going to talk about this because Shay founded a non-for-profit organization called Free Them in 2010. One of Canada's leading federal provincial stakeholders in the anti-human trafficking movement. From humbling awards, Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal, to multiple national media appearances, changing legislation and TED Talks, making money with purpose to positively impact lives, leading people to create a legacy of significance is what she is completely committed to. When she needs a break, she's in Toronto, or you might find her living on the ocean in Costa Rica. Just saying. I'm coming to see you, Shay. Shay, come and join me. Woohoo!
Good morning.
Hello. How awesome is this?
Oh man. Well, there's not too many things I love more than speaking to women and being in a group of a great company of women. So this is such a fantastic way to start the middle of the week. It's hump day today.
Yeah,
Right?
it's hump day. And let's re-energize, right? Let's refocus, re-energize. Let's rise up. We're rising up together, Shay.
Exactly. So
I
thanks
love
for
it.
having me here. And, I was backstage listening. And of course, Tracy, when you gave me the call right from beginning. So like, as you mentioned, we connected on water. That's actually what united us together, was upping the quality of our water. And since then, it's been such this incredible journey of how we're going to work together. What can we do together? How can we make impact? And so when Tracy gave me the call to say, hey, would you come and be the keynote? It was an instant fuck yes. It's like, because if it's not a sacral yes, if you don't feel it right down below, then why are you showing up? Why are you doing it? Right? Time's too precious. So it's a non-renewable resource. So we got to be careful and intentional with what we're saying yes to. So
yes, absolutely. And what we say yes to, we attract more of that, right? So it really matters more than we realize. And this is a habit that I had to get into, is really, really embodying the word yes from a place of my heart, not just a place of what I thought I needed to say yes to. And that was a big shift. So we're talking about reclaiming your freedom to build your queendom. Like, I love queendom. We've got one of our speakers that's wearing a crown, I'm pretty sure, today. So Being
I
the
love that.
queen. Like, let's just talk about queendom for a minute, Shay. What is
Yes.
that? What is that?
You know, to me, when you're in your queendom, it's really knowing your value. It's knowing your worth, number one, right? When you talk about putting on that crown, but it's your fortress. It is a life that you have built that you absolutely love, and you're willing to guard it at all costs. You know, so whatever your mission is, you're so clear on what it is you're doing, and you're willing to protect that. So any other things that come your way might be attractive, right? You might want to say yes to it, but it's like, if it doesn't align with your mission, if it doesn't align with your queendom that you're building, it's like, you got to guard that, you know? So I think like that's how I see it for myself. And there's so much power that resides within your queendom. And so many women need this. And the most beautiful part is the world is waiting for you to step into that which you are meant to be doing in your life. So we're going to talk a little bit about this today. And you know, I want to also just share, because like I have such an interesting background here. But so
let's share. I want you to tell a little bit about your story first. Let's do that. Just so these incredible souls understand who the heck is Shay. Like, how did she get to this place? What's been her journey? You know, you've been through you have so many stories.
I do have so many stories, including the one from this morning, which is so wild, but it's great. So, I mean, I'm literally sitting in somebody's loft above their garage right now. Okay. And there's a story there. We can come back there, but this is not normal life for me right now. But this is the power. I always think about things like this. This is the power when you know you're doing something incredible and that you are aligned in your mission. You know, sometimes the other powers that be try to pull you away from that because what you're doing is so important. And so rather than get frustrated, it's like, okay, I see you. I'm acknowledging that. And I need to pivot, because what I have to say, what I need to do, what my mission is so needed. It's so powerful and so strong that I'm just going to not be upset. I'm going to look at that and go, well, that's funny. So this is part of why I'm in this garage this morning. Okay.
I need to know why. Like, I'm literally dying to know why.
Okay. So last night I had, as Tracy mentioned, you know, I'm in Costa Rica full time right now. I have properties in Toronto, but I don't have a primary. So, you know, I'm visiting with my mom. I might visit with like another girlfriend of mine. So I'm at my mom's place. And yesterday, like last night, she goes, the fire alarm testing is going off in the building tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, of all days, 9 a.m. And like, we all know fire alarms, like there is no hiding. It's going to be in the unit. It's going to be in the building. And I'm like, I can't do this to all the women or Tracy. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, starting to think, I'm like, I call my dad. Can I come to your place? He's like, my cleaners are there tomorrow morning. They can't rearrange their schedule because she's got a daughter with special needs and it's very complicated. Believe it at that. So that was a hard no. Then I was like, okay, well, I'll go to our office. Team meeting this morning. Can't do it. Going to be lots of people there, lots of noise. I'm like, shit, like, what am I going to do? I was prepared to be doing this from my car. Okay. Which I am still tethering on my phone to my laptop. Cause like I said, I'm in a room above a garage that does not have Wi-Fi. So I called a girlfriend of mine. I was like, this was at 11 o'clock last night. I'm like, I know this is a really strange request. Can I maybe use that room that you showed me once upon a time? I was like, you have this space. So like, you know, I've got like a bed if I need to like lie down. I've got some workout stuff back there. But this is part of like recognizing I could either have been derailed this morning and like completely stressed that like my background doesn't look as pretty as Tracy's. I knew what I was showing up into. And I was like, no, like this is part of understanding what it is you're protecting. So this is part of my queendom journey this morning. So that's my like my funny moment. Okay. To share with you guys about who, my journey. I've grown up in an entrepreneurial business household. Coming from Oakville, it's also rather, it's known as an affluent community. So I've worked alongside of many different CEOs and executives of many different organizations and corporations over the year within the real estate realm. And I've always just really, from a young age, challenging the status quo that you have to wait until you're older, in debt, you've climbed the corporate ladder, or you've hustled the 9 to 5, or you've started a business and you're like not burnt out, maybe burnt out, or like you've just been grinding for so long. You have the kids and you're at this like later point in your life where now you may have more time, and that's the system has made us believe that that's when we start giving back. That's when we can start enjoying life. That's when we start doing the things we really love. And from a young age, I was like 19 being like, well, I don't want to wait till I'm older to make an impact. I think you can do both at the same time. And if you're telling me I have to really like wait until I'm older to start having like fun or enjoying what I'm doing, like I might as well just like leave this place now. Like, what is the point? Right? What is the point if the journey to where your destination is not enjoyable, is not fun? And so I was lucky that I learned some of these life lessons in my early 20s, and I really began to weave them into the fabric of my business and what I was doing. So simultaneously, I started out my real estate career and I founded Free Them at the same time, which I don't necessarily recommend doing both those things at the same time, but you could kind of do it like this, start with something and then bring something else along.
Yeah.
But I went for both at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
And, through that, we've made incredible impact in our nation. As Tracy mentioned, it's an organization that fights human trafficking here in Canada and abroad. And we focus on all things to do with prevention, awareness, education, legislation, fundraisers, speaking engagements, talking to the young ones. That's my favorite. I love going into the high schools and speaking to the kids. And not just about human trafficking and raising that awareness, but also giving them permission to pursue their dream.
Yes.
For exactly what I said, right? Like they can make a difference right now. And children are so impressionable and they believe you with what you tell them. And so I love going in and saying, you can totally do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so many cool stories have come out of that. And so, along the way too, I've just become a really big advocate for my health and strongly believe in chemical-free living, toxic-free living. And that's not just about what we eat, the water we drink, and what we're putting in our body. That also has to do with our minds, right? Like what we're consuming, what we're thinking about, our thoughts, all of these things. And so I've really, but I would say I'm still on this journey, as we all should be life students, but it is one of self-mastery to really eliminating the toxic load in our body. You mentioned in my introduction, I'm an explanter. Even some women might be like, what the hell is that? So I had breast implants for 11 years. I had 2 sets over that 11-year period. And I removed them March 2nd of 2022. And so that is the term explanting, which has made me an explanter, because I just had a really honest conversation with myself of going, you talk about living this chemical-free life, toxic-free life, yet you have these toxic, carcinogen, neurotoxin products like chilling in your body. Literally, I shouldn't say chilling, cooking in your body at 87 degrees. So I had a very hard conversation with myself, but the decision was simple. And so that's what I say. It was the simple, hardest decision of my life to remove them. I still love my implants even now. And there are many days where I'm like, I wish I had them, but I value my health more. And that's not to say that women who have them or learn about BII, breast implant illness, if you still have them, I get it. I've been there, you know, and we're all on our own journey. And it's just learning. The more we know, the better we can do. So
yeah. I remember when you and I spoke about that. And I mean, talk about reclaiming your freedom, like you going to Costa Rica, you doing your explant, like all of those things. I feel like, you were already very successful. I think that's important for women to know. Like, it's not about I've had my success and now I'm good. It's what's next? What's the next door that I'm willing to actually walk through? And I remember when you shared that with me and you were telling your surgery was coming up and we were just really, really building our relationship. And, we had these beautiful, beautiful conversations on the phone, but I really feel like those moments, those were really defining moments when you chose to leave, and create something, outside of where you were with your family. Because when you're in a family business, you're in it, like it's all encompassing. Right. And you had the inner really strong desire that you knew you were being pulled to do something different. And you listened to her. And when you listened to her, she spoke and she was wise and she shared with you a new opportunity that you could start to decide, okay, am I going to do this? And those are all big moments. I feel like those were really defining moments for you to reclaim your freedom, Shay.
It was. And I actually went on to developing a whole thing for women who have explanted, and it was called actually Reclaim Explant Embodiment Retreats. And the intention is really getting on the journey of coming home to yourself, right? Because anytime we make decisions or lack thereof, we let somebody else be in control of our health, be in control of our mind, of our relationships. Maybe we're stuck in a job that we don't love, that doesn't excite us. You're giving a piece of yourself out in all these different areas.
Yeah.
And I really, really took my healing journey on that really seriously. And knowing that there were so many other women that did not realize that there was a journey to be on, for starters, okay? And that there are different healing tools and modalities that will actually help you to come home to yourself and re-welcome your feminine, re-welcome her within. And so I really started to incubate on this word reclaim and looking at our foundations. And this is part of like what we're talking about today. I think it's amazing actually that this is the topic that is setting the stage for these next few days. And when you first asked me about like, what do you want to share? I really took it to heart because this is the foundation piece. And so it is so important for us to start to analyze and look, where have I actually given out my power? Where have I given pieces of myself? Whether it's because you feel pressured, maybe it's an expectation of a family member or of a partner or of a sibling, friends, whatever it is. But in order to really get out of your own way, right? In order to get out of your own way, it is necessary for us to be reclaiming. So we have a solid foundation. You have to pull things in and go, okay, that no more. Because if you don't have a solid foundation, you might be able to do what you want to do for a little bit, but you're going to start getting pulled in a different direction because you've not actually called back in your power into these different areas of your life. And sometimes it is the physical. A lot of the times it is emotional. You know, for me, it was also the mental for like what I was going through, that even though this was such a physical thing, there was so much mental that needed to be addressed. And so part of, you know, we talked to you mentioned earlier about being a CEO, and I know we're going to go probably into this, but in order to reclaim your freedom in life, to be able to do what you want to do, to really step into what I call that being the CEO of your life, it starts with taking radical responsibility for everything in your life right now. There's nobody else to blame. That your father who pissed you off or hurt you, you know, that spouse that you ended up leaving or he left you, all of these hard things in our life. It's about taking radical responsibility and recognizing there's nobody else to blame for where you are in your life right now.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. One of my favorite things is like, you know, you can look at, you know, I mean, I can use my dad. We all have relationships with our parents, and some days or some years are better than others, right? And I mentioned in my rapid fire that my father is my hero. I've gone through some really challenging times over the past few years of my life with my dad, and my relationship with him has changed. And it's really easy for me to hate or not like or be uncomfortable or be mad and anger and resentment. And I've gone through all of that. Okay. That's a human in me. That's the human response. But I'm also at a point in my life where I thank him for everything good, because it shaped me, and everything I've not liked has also shaped me into who I am today. And so it's actually going, I don't need to enjoy that process, right? You don't need to enjoy the process. You don't need to say that it was fun. You honor it and acknowledge it was shitty, it's hard, it's hurtful, it's ugly, whatever it is for you. But you wouldn't be who you are without the polarity. You wouldn't be able to actually enjoy the joy. You wouldn't be able to enjoy the good without the opposite. And so stepping into these next few days where you're going to hear from incredible speakers and coming in with powerful messages, can you take a few moments, if you've downloaded the journal, if you haven't, do that. If you haven't done it, take a piece of paper, anything, and just make a promise to yourself that today you're going to start with taking radical responsibility for your life, because you want to build a new foundation. You're calling yourself home. You're calling her in so that she can come out and shine. And so we are going to build a new foundation, which is so freaking exciting and is so empowering. And knowing that from this moment forward, you actually get to start making your own decisions. And when you do that, even if they're the wrong ones, there's a lot of freedom in that, because you're the one, you're betting on yourself, and then you can pivot, you can course correct, because you're not relying on anybody else to do that for you.
Yeah.
So
that's where the power is, right? That's all the power.
Big time. 100%.
Yeah. And I think I love, and the foundation is key. And you know, we have cracks in our foundation. Totally. That's what we have. And those cracks, you know, are up to you to fill.
Yes.
And
yes, it is. Yeah.
It's up to you. No one's going to come and fill them for you. And when you're going to have other cracks that pop up, and you're going to fill them too. And this is the process. You like you said, we just have to accept that this is part of the process. You can't get around it. Even if you think you're going to play it safe and not step into your power, it is going to catch up with you, because either life throws you against the wall and you're forced to start filling those cracks in, or you make a decision to be the CEO of your life and you do it yourself.
100%. And that's where you got to literally put the line in the sand. You can fill your cracks, you can change the foundation. But when you choose to make better decisions, when you choose to change, your life changes, right? That's literally how it goes.
Yeah.
And so instead of blaming other people, waiting for somebody to come and save you, or somebody to come and help you. It's going, no, I'm in control of my own happiness. I'm in control of my own destiny. And I actually am capable. It is possible. And I have the tools more than you realize. You do have the tools. And it's really time for women, especially, to rise up into their power, rise up into their worthiness, and live life on their own terms. And the only way you can do that is if you start taking ownership.
Yeah.
And it's about like looking at where you're vulnerable in your life. You know, I think about a lot of women, even in these past few years, we've all been challenged with different protocols or measures or mandates, whatever it is, that is demanding for us to do or not do certain things. And you should really understand why you're doing those things. And if you do not, that's where you need to pump the brakes and go, my health, where am I vulnerable? If I got sick today, who do I rely on? Do I rely on myself? You know, and I'm not like, I'm the essential oil queen. I never have an oil that's not in an arm's reach of me. That's what I always say. Okay. And so right here, I have Peace that I put on before. Are oils the be all and end all for your health? There are times where Western medicine absolutely plays a role, but there's a lot of times where I don't rely on the system. I know how to handle my health. And that's, for me, something I have been dedicated to that practice for over 10 years of my life. So it's a journey, but this is one area where it's like in your health, if somebody in your family got sick, what do you do? What do you know? Right?
Yeah.
Finances is another one. How many women do not understand the language of money?
No.
They do not understand they don't have financial literacy. They don't know what it is to invest. These are areas where you then become exposed, and you have to outsource your trust, whether that's to a man in your life, your partner, your husband, whoever it is. Maybe it's to the government, expecting a pension and a paycheck, whatever it is. Now, having a man in your life who's great in finances is not a bad thing. That's a fantastic thing. If you have a pension, wonderful, amazing. That's great for you. But what if that husband left tomorrow, passed away, circumstances change, your job got deleted, whatever it is, and asking yourself, where am I vulnerable in this? Could I handle myself? Could I make money for myself? How do I make money? Where are my investments? So these are different areas and different pillars in our lives where we need to look at, where do I need to reclaim? Because I don't have freedom in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I think we don't like to do that because it makes us feel shame. It makes us feel vulnerable. It makes us feel like we're in comparison mode. It makes us feel like it is the ickiest feeling. And we run away from anything painful. We run to pleasure and we run away from pain. Right. But the thing is, like, if you can just get over that hump, and that's when you need support. You need the right people. Like, if you're in a certain situation right now, you got to look at all the elements of your environment, right? Like, if your environment isn't supporting you to move into another direction, you're going to want to really, really sit down and be the biggest advocate of that part of your life. Because I'm going to tell you, your best friend, you know, that person, they're only thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
You have to really understand that. You've got to step into you being the most important person in your life, because then the people that are connected to you will be taken care of in so many different ways. And yes, I mean, huge. And like, and like, just get off the whole bus of like, oh, victimhood. You're not a freaking victim. You are an incredible, powerful woman. And you are resourceful. You know, you may not know, then find out. And that's what this is about. We're literally giving you a network of women that we're still going to be connecting to you after the summit to stay connected with, to learn and grow with. This is a container of safety from a place of no judgment, no blame, no shame. We're community, we're excellence, we're authentic, we're vulnerable, we're inclusive. And inclusivity is a huge part, right? And I know that that's who you are too, Shay. You're an inclusive soul, right? You don't leave people out. You bring them in, right? Which is why we're doing the the freedom or the free them movement too within this summit, because those people don't have a voice. They actually do feel very powerless right now. And so we're showing up to help serve them. It's amazing. I want to ask you, what are your top CEO principles? Because we keep talking CEO. What are those top three principles?
So there are a number, but I would say like there's about 8 to 10. But looking at what I would say my top 3 are, and we've just kind of touched on that a little bit, but the first one for me starts with mindset. The second is leadership, even though I'm saying 3. Okay, so I obviously don't know my math. Okay, first is mindset. Second is leadership. And third is the financial literacy part. And I'll break this down for you a little bit. So when you think about who, we've all probably been an employee at some point. Before I even break it down, I want to talk about the energy of what it means to be a CEO and how that feels. So I know there's women tuning in today who are not CEOs, have never been a CEO. Maybe they've actually, maybe they've never even worked for anybody. Maybe you've been a stay-at-home mom from the beginning, or you jumped right into entrepreneurship. And so you've actually always it's just been you. But I know there's a lot of other women who have been an employee. Maybe you've been in management, maybe you've been higher up. But think about working for somebody else for a moment, and you think about what that feels like. Like if you close your eyes and you're an employee. I don't want to say just an employee, but you're an employee in a company. Okay. And how that feels the day in and day out. Sometimes people notice you're there, sometimes they don't. Your managers or the higher ups, some know your name, some might not, right? And so there is this energy that you take on as an employee around maybe your value and worth, the importance of your role. And part of climbing that corporate ladder, as an example, is as you become quote unquote more important, you go up that ladder. There's a new energy, there's a new feeling, a new persona that you embody when you become a manager, and when you go higher up, when you become a regional manager or a director, then when you become an executive, again, it's like partly it is, of course, the ego as well, but there is this energy where you feel more confident, more assured of yourself. You're given more responsibility. You're becoming more in the driver's seat. And so I want every woman on here this morning to close her eyes and to really feel what it's like to continue. As I was talking, like feel that you are at the top of that ladder. You are the only decision maker. People come to you looking for the direction. You might have guidance and advisors, but ultimately it's your call and it's your say. If somebody else makes a different recommendation or they have a different opinion, yours still trumps anything else. There is a confidence that exudes you above most other people that are in that company, because you're the one who's driving the ship. You're the one that's driving the bus. You're the one that's driving that car. You're the one leading the company. And so naturally, there's this badass attitude. There's this badass feeling that is inevitable. You can't help not feel that, because you know you're running the show. And so it starts with this energy that then goes into your mindset. And this is where I go, the number one thing for me about being a CEO in a fundamental starts with your mindset. You might not be leading anything right now. You might not have a company that you're running, but you need to embody it now in order to become her. She's waiting for you. Your future self is waiting, and she's there, and she's a freaking badass, but it starts in your mind. So you have to feel that energy, and you will start to shift your mindset and your thoughts, right? Your resilience, letting go of the weight of the opinions of other people. I say it, I've heard many other people say it in different ways, but other people's opinions of me is none of my business.
No.
You have to learn how to throw that off, because if you're constantly concerned about the opinions of other people, you'll never be able to rise up. You won't, because the higher you rise, let me tell you, the more spectators come out with their own opinions.
Yeah.
And I always say, you should never, ever take advice from somebody who has not done what you are wanting to do
100%.
or is not where you are.
Yeah.
If they are not in the ring fighting the same fight, you invite them as a spectator. Give them tickets to front row seats.
Yeah.
And you say, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So grateful for you,
Yeah.
for you being here.
Send them love.
Send them love, but you don't listen to them. You only are paying attention to people who are in the ring. And if you can, for people who have actually already won and are doing bigger things than you.
Don't you find, Shay, the higher up you go as well, there's less opinions and there's more support?
Yeah,
you're not fighting for, like, you know what I mean? Like, I find people are so opinionated. It's because they're living in their own fear and they're sharing that and they're spreading that to you like an infectious disease. Whereas someone who's truly, truly in their power, they just want to support.
Totally. I think there's two sides to that. This speaks to the testament of the circle in which you choose to surround yourself, Tracy.
Yeah. Yep.
Because as you are climbing up your own ladder, as you're rising up into the CEO-ship of your life and your mission, you are going to have people that are going to try to keep you from doing that. And that's our natural defense mechanism. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fight or flight state. Sometimes they're not doing that. Not always, because they're jealous or don't want to see you rise. Sometimes those people are real and those people should be cut out. Oftentimes it's the safety mechanism that goes off in all of our brains, and especially for those people who are living in more fear or are living in doubt, right? And that's the safety. But I think it speaks to the circle in which you've chosen to surround yourself by, which becomes so important. That there are people that we have loved dearly along the way that are going to now take a different spot in the ring, if you will. And sometimes that inner circle, they move to the outer circle. And that's super important, because yes, the people who are championing you, who are supporting you, those are the people who you want to keep in your closer circle. And they're the ones that are wanting to see you rise. They're the ones that are going, yes, I will show up for you in any capacity, you know? And so we need to be mindful of that, right?
Yeah.
The second is around that leadership component. And some women get really freaked out when you use the word leader. Like, well, I'm not a leader. Like, I don't know how to lead
all day long.
I do my thing. And they get really, really freaked out. Let me tell you a secret, okay? In being a CEO, this is around self-leading. This is around leading yourself. And when you learn how to master, and it's ongoing, it's always ongoing. That should be the goal, because as you've evolved and as you are evolving, your desires, your vision is going to expand. Your desire is going to expand. So as you're evolving to become the person that you want to be and the goals you want to achieve, you're going to start seeing new things, and it's going to be this moving target if your goal is to continue to evolve and grow. Okay. As you learn how to better lead yourself and to trust your intuition and to lean on you living that example is going to inspire others to actually start taking their own responsibility in their lives.
Yep.
And you'll become a leader without even realizing maybe that you've become a leader. And so I encourage each of you today, don't worry about all of a sudden needing to come up and speak somewhere or start using your platform around like leadership. No, this is around you and becoming the master of who you are. And you can even just forget the word leadership, but I'm using it here for clarity because that is what you're doing. But this is learning how for you to take charge of your own life. And the more you lead yourself, like I said, you're going to become an example to others who are going to be inspired to start doing things the way you're doing them.
I call that the
leadership.
ripple effect. That's the ripple effect, and it's
It is.
beautiful. And
I
it's
love that.
beautiful. Yes, right? Like that's the thing. And I feel really truly we have a responsibility to ourselves and to the real reason why we came into this world, to actually clear away the shit, fill the cracks, and put our big girl pants on, tighten our ponytail, and let's do this, right? And this is why circles and having this holistic space of, taking care of yourself emotionally, behaviorally, mentally, spiritually. We need help in all those areas, just like finance and relationships and health and all mindset, all of these things. We need it all in order for us to really truly keep rising up. That is the hard work. It's not grinding through your job. That's the hard freaking work. And when you just even a little bit decide to give yourself an extra 1% boost and like show up for yourself, take a chance on yourself, 1% more, you will attract something different in your life today, like legit today. And you guys attracted this invitation to come to the summit. Like, know that happened. Attracted 20 women. I attracted Shay into my life. Like, God has big plans for us, Shay. And I know that we're just leaning in. We lean in. You get in the habit of leaning in instead of running away. And every time you do that, it doesn't necessarily get easier because the leaning in can be greater and have on the forefront more risk to it because there's more unknown. But you do start to create the evidence and you build the confidence and you start to step into natural leadership roles because you're like, holy crap, like, this is what I'm doing. And you start to learn stuff about yourself. It's like foundational to you being the CEO of your freaking life and reclaiming your power, right?
Totally. 100%.
Amazing. Okay. I'm just looking at time here. I want to make sure you and I could talk for hours. I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to connect with you live. So Shay's going to jump into a breakout session for 10 minutes. So there's going to be a link. The link is in the Facebook group. I'm going to drop it in as well. I want you to go to that link and I want you to join Shay in her Zoom call. You can ask her questions. She's got you. She's got you. Yes. She's got you. She's powerhouse. And you get show up for yourself. Be a participant in your life. Don't be a spectator, man. This is not a spectator sport. Shay?
No. Yes.
I love you. High five you all day long, sister. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're amazing. You're amazing. My heart is so full right now. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing up, for being my keynote speaker to this event, and just for having my back, because I know you have my back and I have yours. And I am so grateful for that.
I love you, Tracy. I'm really excited to just now be a participant too and soak in all of the goodness with the rest of the community. And like Tracy said, come hang out with me. I'm going to hop into the Zoom, into the chat room, and let's do it.
Let's do it. Amazing. Okay.